Yeah, let's go ahead and get started again. So first of all, a for loop in Python. Who remembers how that for loop works?
It works like a loop.
It works like a loop. That is very astute, Milo.
Well, okay, never mind.
What else?
So it works like you tell it how many times you want it to repeat, and then it repeats that amount of times.
Awesome. So all right. What kind of words do we need to use in order to make a for loop work?
It's for in range.
Anyone have anything else?
And then don't you have to have like the range of numbers?
Yep. So you gotta have something in there. All right, so if we wanted the loop to repeat 5 times, then we could say for something in range 5, and then a colon. Now, what needs to go where that underscore is?
The variable.
Excellent. So often in loops in programming, we use something called the iterator. When we use some sort of iterator, then we often use the letter I to stand for iterates, or goes up by 1 every time, all right? So what that means is that every time this loop executes, that I is gonna go up by 1. And so we could do something as simple as print I. And if we did a print I in this loop, what would that look like?
Oh, print I?
If we did a for I in range, 5, and then, good morning, Ayana.
Good morning.
Are you getting some extra Python practice in?
Why not?
So this is the intro class, just so you know. So then we would, if we do print I on this for I in range, the question is, what is it going to print every time? So this first time through the loop, what is it going to start at?
It's going to start.
What will I start at?
It would start at I, right?
Well, what's the first number that Python always uses, like in a list?
It uses 0.
So it will print 0. And then the second time through, what will it print?
It will print 1.
Okay.
Then 2, then 3 till it gets to 5, and then.
Hold on.
Oh.
How many times has it printed so far? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many times has that printed? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since it's printed 5 times, it's going to stop there.
Yes.
It's going to go up to, but not including 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can put whatever we want within this loop here. You can put whatever code you want in this loop, and that means it'll execute 5 times. the first time it'll execute, I will be equal to 0. The second time, I will be equal to 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So what we're doing today is it's going to be different for everybody because I think everyone's in a different place today. So Julio, I know you're on number 75, and we can go over, which one was it?
It was fruits.
Fruit, okay. So I can call that up real quick. Milo, how are you doing with Text Monster?
After your class, I put in a bunch of work, and so all I have to do is when you enter a room and then leave, it deletes the sword from the room, and then I'm done.
Do you know how to do that?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to go over fruit really quickly with Julio, and then do you have yours, Milo, in a multiplayer?
I can put it in multiplayer. Yeah, I do have a multiplayer.
Okay, cool. So make sure that's shared with me. It's probably already shared with me.
Yeah.
And then I'll go over that. Eunice, what are you working on?
I'm working on Text Monster, just starting on Text Monster.
Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and talked about that yesterday. Go ahead and start Text Monster in a multiplayer so that after I cycle through Julio and Milo, we can work on that. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to Julio real quick here. We're looking at fruit.
Yeah.
All right. And you said this was marked complete, so does that mean you feel pretty confident?
I mean, I just commented in all of the, like, everything you told me to write down about, I just commented that in.
All right, so let's see what happens. Oh. Got it. Okay, so so then the length, right? This is how you do length.
Uh-huh.
So that will get you the length of either single or multi.
Where are we, what part are we talking about?
So you see where I'm typing in the bottom right?
Yeah.
So that len, parentheses, single fruit, that will get you the length of a list.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like right here
Mm-hmm.
that you want this to be the individual fruit. And so how you would write that, you could say something like for fruit in single fruit, and that will go through that list. You do not have to add one. It will automatically cycle to the next fruit.
Okay.
And the other thing that's going to happen is that this fruit right here will end up, this will contain the next item. So the first time through the loop, it'll contain apple. Second time, it'll contain banana, then watermelon, then grape.
Okay.
So you're absolutely right to do the multi-fruit dot append. and that will add to the list. So then, like you have here, multi-fruit dot append, and then what contains the current fruit? What did I say?
The length. No, wait. What? You said what?
In this code that I'm writing over here,
Uh huh.
what contains the name of the current fruit?
Isn't it fruit?
Okay. And so then you're trying to add S, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't really have to do a whole lot more other than that,
Okay.
because it will automatically cycle through every single member. So I want you to, so I'm going to send this back to you. I want you to make those changes and then see if you can get it to work. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then Milo. Hey, look at that. Milo, are you with me? All right. So what part of the code are you working on? All right, when you grab a sword, it is removed. So what line is that? So what line are you grabbing the sword? Good. What are you doing to, no, what are you doing to remove the sword? It should remove the sword forever from the room. What variable holds the item in the current room. Yeah, I shouldn't say current room. Oh, I see what you did. Hello, Micaiah. We're going to get started with environmental in just a few minutes. Hello, Jayla.
Hello.
We're going to get started with environmental in just a few minutes.
Okay. Why am I not working? Did you put the on? Yeah.
All right, I'm keeping you guys on mute. So Milo, you're going to want to use the floor number and the user room and set it equal to whatever you want the new contents to be. That might be the new contents are blank. That might be the new contents are a different item. All right, and you're going to want to do that, I would imagine, on line 47, like I put that comment in. All right, Eunice. Am I looking at the right one?
you are.
All right. So, do you know how you're going to start this off?
No.
Okay. Do you have the original text monster information?
Wait, no, I'm gonna turn it on right now, actually.
So that's going to be super helpful for you.
You're talking about the original Replit or the original one on Google Classroom?
You can look at the original one on Google Classroom. Also, the original one on Replit has the same info on it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I have the one on Replit open now.
Good, good, good. So, you see that that I give you some sample code, right?
On the original Replit, it does not show. Oh, yes, no, yeah, you did. Yes, it's here. It's example code. Oh, yeah, it's here too, yeah. Okay, yeah, my bad.
All right. And
Oh, yeah, that is it.
I give you some sample code that's going to help you out. For example, this one keeps track of the current room the user is in. And this one keeps track of the floor the user is on. All right.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're probably going to want another variable to keep track of the number of the floor. So for example, user floor number equals 1 would help you keep track of what floor the user is on, so that you could do something like this. Does this make sense? Oops, maybe if I type it right. And then if we wanted, for example, to see if it was 2, right? Then you could set the current floor to something like floor 2. So if that floor number changes, you can change what floor is currently being referenced with this variable. Does that make sense?
No, I don't understand fully.
So as you're going through, if a user says go upstairs or downstairs, you're going to want to change the floor. So you're going to want to do something like this.
Oh, okay, I understand, yeah.
All right, so I gotta hop off because we've got environmental. So I'm gonna stop this meeting. Milo, Julio, Eunice, make sure you keep on coding, keep on working for like another half hour. And then tomorrow we'll keep going over this stuff. Okay?
Okay.
All right.